studying from one of the greatest texts, Astavakra Gita. In the first chapter, we are understanding the very nature of the real self, true nature, Satchidananda. So, what the master says, Sakaram Anratam Vidhi Nirakaram tu Nishchalam. What a beautiful verse. Etat tattvapadeshena na punarbhav sambhava sakaram anritam vidhi nirakaram tu nishchalam. The master says, recognize that blueness of a sky is not real. He didn't say sky, but I'm just making the things easy to understand. Recognize that the apparent is not real, while the unmanifest, the one who is sitting deep inside the heart, is real. Then he says, Vidhi nirakaram tu nishchalam etat tattvapadeshena. Through this initiation into the real self, you will escape falling into the unreality again. And when you escape falling into the unreality again, no anxiety, no stress, it brings an end to the suffering. Know all that has a form. Then he says, Etato na punarbhav sambhava sakaram anritam vidhi. Sakaram anritam vidhi. So know, recognize, understand, which has a form, is constantly changing, and what is changing cannot be real. Body is changing, mind is changing, beards is changing, everything changing. The formless consciousness is your real self. That is the simple translation of this word. Who can recognize apparent reality and the true reality? That is the question. That is why the master says recognize. So then he uses another word, initiation into the truth. Initiation. So what is this initiation here? There are many customary ritual through which the initiation is given. Here, what is that initiation? Initiation normally means preparation for meditation, preparation to become a seeker so that the seeker succeeds in meditation. Initiation means a preparation, or you can say the preparation for the mind of a seeker. Mind of a person so that he becomes seeker. There are many ways. By touch, by giving some mantra, by giving some discipline. But he is not talking of any such discipline of initiation here. So what is that initiation? That is what I was talking just before to everyone. And Shobha said something. So that initiation is to be done in the intellect by understanding. Initiation, it's not a ritual. So what is, let me raise 3 or 4 points of initiation into the intellect. It is the master guides and then you work on your intellect. Master guides and explains and then you work on the intellect. Then the intellect is initiated. When the intellect is initiated, you are a seeker. You can recognize what is real and unreal, and you succeed in meditation. So, what is this initiation? We have to drop the nature of the mind that is craving, obsession. Stephen was just talking about that in a different way. So what is that? That the moment I have a craving and obsession and an ego sense, what happens? Mind leaves the understanding of what is right and good. Mind leaves that understanding of what is just and unjust. Then this mind applies all the corrupt means to live our life. What is that? How dare you inserted me? Corrupt means. No, I want only this. That is what, Stephen talking in a different way. So the first thing, I have to drop that craving, that obsession completely from the intellect so that the intellect is initiated. Second point. Where your intellect is sitting for satisfaction and contentment. Tell me. Where your intellect is sitting. Just after the meditation session, I will take a cup of tea. Contentment is sitting there. So our intellect is sitting sometime in the food, sometime in the physical pleasure, sometime in anything, in earning money, sometime in clothes, sometime in my car. So that where the intellect is sitting, if the intellect is sitting in anything outside, in any person outside, then the intellect becomes slave. Our contentment depends on a person and an object outside. This initiation needs to be understood. So how long this initiation should last? 24/7. Where the intellect should sit 24/7? In the heart within, where the real self is sitting. All the time. While doing all the activities outside. No matter what you are doing. So this is what he is talking. He did not talk then, here is a mantra that by which you get initiated. He is not talking of any cult, dogma, belief, religion, mantra. Very right, forthwith. Now, let us take up another point of initiation. Someone triggers you a little and your ego takes over. You start reacting. You start inserting people. The intellect is destroyed. Whatever you have learned for years from the teacher has already gone. So what the master is saying, that initiation into the intellect means, are you easily influenced by the pain and the pleasure and the sorrow and the happiness of the world? Or you have tolerance level? Do you tolerate? It happens in everybody's life, in business and profession. Now with honey, withdraw yourself. If your intellect withdraws completely from those pain and the pleasure felt by the mind inside, hold on. The intellect says, hold on. So that's why I suggest, if honey says something, keep quiet. If she doesn't or he doesn't say anything, still keep quiet so that your intellect becomes aware what is going on outside. Look at this, that intellect. Our life is not always smooth. Nobody's life is smooth. We have health, we have sickness, we have challenges in our personal, professional life. Life is full of dualities. Road, the path of the life is not always straight.
What it is? Sure.
Path of this life is not always. We meet good
Yeah,
people,
sure,
we
sure,
meet
Ritin.
bad people. Huh? We meet good people, we meet bad people. Is my intellect calm, not affected, not get easily disturbed? So once we have that state of the intellect, I explained the four things. If I repeated the first thing that I said, uh, find out where the intellect is sitting. So normally the intellect sits in the craving and the obsession for a thing, for a person, anything. I have also a craving and obsession. That is why I am always ready 5 to 10 minutes before the session. So you see, you can take the craving and obsession in a positive and in a negative sense. Second point, where your contentment is sitting. You see, it's a beautiful point. So I am explaining this verse based on the teachings of the other masters. But principles are the same, so I can take the reference from the contentment. When you wake up in the morning and intellect says you are happy, contented, or you wake up in the morning, the intellect says you have to do a lot of things, you are rushing and running and anxious. That intellect is not a seeker. It cannot succeed into meditation. That is the second point. The third point is to get easily influenced by the pain, pleasure, easily influenced. You don't look good and you are influenced. What happened to me? Why it happened to me? So that intellect also starts comparing with other people. Oh, you said this one, a very good thing, and you are insulting me. You have destroyed what you have learned even for 10 years. The mind is constantly comparing. That intellect cannot succeed. This is initiation, what the master is saying. And the fourth one, life is full of dualities. The road of the life is not always smooth. But I can keep my intellect smooth and calm. That choice is with me. Can I live with that choice? Now come to the verse. So what the verse says. Now you already got initiated. You all are seekers. So now listen from the seeker's point of view. He says, Sakaram nritam anritam vidhi nirakaram tu nischalam. Clay pot is a clay only. You have a clay pot, a ceramic pot. You see on the top, what is? It is ceramic. Bottom, ceramic. Right side, left side, ceramic. That cup as a form appears. It is in appearance. The master is saying, anything that has a form in the name, it is constantly changing, hence it is unreal. Allow your intellect to settle in the formless behind that. Crush that ceramic cup. What is left? Ceramic. Bury down into the earth. What is there? Ceramic. So the very essential nature of the thing cannot be destroyed. The name and the form and the age can be destroyed. This is what he says. Why he is saying this? This body, 61 years ago, this much, gradually became 6 feet, had black beard, now gray. And one day, this body will fall down. Not body, the name and the form will fall down. It means I am not the body. The one who is sitting in the body, that is pure consciousness, is I am. That is the first point he is making. The second point he is making, what is unmanifest is real, and what appears is the apparent reality. What is seen by the sense organ and the mind, whatever is seen by the sense organ and the mind. I see my dad. So my mind says, my dad should live forever. Let everyone die. Do you see the craving and obsession? Do you see the comparison? Do you see the duality? Now that intellect cannot reach to that state of meditation. I have to see the fact as a fact. Everyone is changing. Name and the form is changing. When the mind, intellect settles inside and that mind looks inside into the unmanifest, we discover what we discover. We discover the real self. The way I understand, the way I know as a fact, the way I understand the reality of the sky is not blue, the wave is not the water, clay pot is not the clay. Similarly, I understand this body, breath, mind, intellect, and the ego is not me. I am the pure consciousness. I am the pure consciousness. So he says to the seeker who got initiated, he says, this is what my initiation. Master is saying to Etat Tattvopadeshena. And he makes such a bold statement. You will never find in any other text. He said, this much we need to enter into the highest state of meditation. And then what he says? That you never find. He says, Punarbhava Sambhava. Forget it about all the suffering. It brings an end to all the suffering from today, from here and now. That is why I titled this series as Happiness Here and Now. Summarizing, intellect is centered in the real self. No, but I don't know it. Let the intellect be settled constantly deeper inside the heart. Maintain that awareness. You will recognize the mind is craving. Bring the mind back. Running after, bring the mind back. First, let it be settled in contentment inside. And then you start living your life. Daily, your personal life, your professional life, your social life. So what is going to happen? The mind enters into that calm and peace. But then he makes a very big statement, Punarbhava Sambhava. He says not only it brings an end to the suffering, it will also bring an end to the cycle of birth and death. Don't go to those masters who give you a lot of promises that if you do this, this will happen. No. He says recognize what is real, what is unreal. Recognize. Who recognizes? Intellect. Is the intellect ready? That is why I explained the 4 points. So once the intellect is ready, recognizes what is real and unreal, you settle yourself into pure consciousness, not only it brings an end to the suffering, but it also brings an end to the cycle of birth and death. Is your mind crazy after that, after listening to it? You have missed the point. That is why I explained to you. Is the intellect settled? I have to check whether this intellect is settled within, in the state of contentment, not easily influenced by the pain and the pleasure outside. Huh? Then only you meditate, because you are meditating in your daily life with eyes open, performing all your duties. And that leads us to the state of meditation. So it means the meditative state is behind performing your duties in your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life, interacting with the people, interacting with the things 24/7. Meditative state is behind. This is what he is talking about. So let us start our journey of meditation.